Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 30. I can't believe it is the 30th week I have done this podcast, and I want to thank all of you who have been along with me on this journey. So, I have titled this episode and my magazine, Be the Real You. But what does be the real you actually mean? Well, that's what this episode is all about today. Many of you might be wondering, well, sure, but aren't we all really being our true selves out in the world? Actually, most people walk around pretending that they are something that they are not. They might even have convinced themselves that what they pretend to be is actually true. Now, we all know people like that, and some of them might even be in your family. Often, the pretending is obvious, but for others, the real person is more hidden behind layers or curtains of stories that they have created and shown to the world. I named my magazine Be the Real You because every woman who wants to live, work, and create in this world as their real and true selves needs support to do so. Why? Because the people who make up our society want us to pretend. Most groups of people really don't like outliers of any kind. It's obvious. As I've talked about before, people are most comfortable with other people who think just like them. They like a consensus, which often results in a bit of groupthink, whether it's at the office or even in your family. I remember back when I worked in higher education career offices and how the questions I asked and even my comments that were all coming from this place of prior corporate experience made my colleagues rather uncomfortable, especially those that who had been around for quite a long time. I was an outlier, and outliers make people nervous. If I had been my younger self, I would have been much more concerned with conforming. But I wasn't. And therefore, looking back, being my real self and sharing what was going on in my head made people sit up and take notice. And I realize now that made people uncomfortable. So to stand in that place of being the real you, it requires that you know what it is that you really want and who you truly are. Now, not the roles that you play in your life, but who the real you is, and be able to stand with confidence in who that person, who that woman really is. When I was a young mother, I found this very hard to do. Honestly, I sort of lost myself. Being the wife and advisor my husband wanted me to be, I tried to please my parents who were quick to tell me what I should be doing. And I also had to help my daughter who had significant learning issues. My roles took over my life. Now, I still had a sense of myself, but I knew that I had parked that real me, that true me, quite far away from my daily life. I didn't know how to find the balance between my roles and the real me. And maybe some of you can relate to this. As many of you probably know, this pretending and disconnecting from our real and true selves doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process, and ladies, it can happen at any stage of our life. Therefore, we all have to be vigilant because it can creep up on you regardless of your age. And now you know why I named my magazine Be the Real You. So, my advice is to tread carefully, stay connected to the real you, and never lose that girl. You are unique and special, and the world needs your unique contributions. It is no one's responsibility but your own to keep your dreams and goals alive, but you need support to achieve that. Life is filled with so many choices today, and if you don't have support, it's easy for you to give into those pressures, the pressures of your work, your family, your culture, your community. Together, let's all promise to give up listening to any of the shoulds we so often hear. We were never, absolutely never meant to entirely give ourselves up for others. Even Mother Teresa had goals and plans. And my guess is that she didn't let others take them away from her by asking her to do this or that or put more on your plate. One of Mother Teresa's quotes sort of says it all. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. So let's begin. How do you make sure the real you is your compass and not the career, societal, family, cultural issues around you? Well, you have to get quiet in order to find that place inside of you that speaks with honesty and authenticity. Start with writing down who you really are. Describe yourself as you see yourself and how others see you. Think back to your childhood. What compliments did people give you? Think back to your young adult years, your early career professional years, or early mother years, whatever it is. What were the compliments people gave you? How did people describe you? What activities made you happy and excited? What were you good at? I say all this because we really don't change that much. We are born with certain talents, and if we invest in those talents, they become our strengths as we move forward with life. So once you have a really good sense of yourself, once you've gone through that exercise, your next step is to connect with your dreams and the values that you hold in life. What's important to you? Did you always want to have a family of your own? Did you want a partner in life, a wife, a husband? What did you dream of creating or doing? How important was having a career to you? And what makes a job a career? This is all part of the exploration of what you really want, what's really important to you. For so many of my coaching clients, this is not an easy exercise. So, ladies, take your time. Now, I had the opportunity to do all of this after my marriage ended, and it was super hard work. I have to admit that. But I call it fun work because the rewards are incredible. Once you know yourself, every decision and choice you make becomes clear. There will be no more shoulds. When you have that internal compass of knowing your real and true self, you'll know what's right and what's not. You'll also feel much less doubt, and you'll know in your core, I'm really good at that. And you will know what brings you joy. No more leaving yourself behind the curtain of your roles. You're going to be front and center. You will bring the real you to every role that you have in your life instead of the other way around. You'll be the unique mother, the unique partner, executive, small business owner, the unique sister or neighbor that only you can be. The why of my magazine is just that. I don't want another woman to lose herself because the world needs you, the real you. And if this conversation speaks to you, do go to my website and subscribe to Be the Real You magazine. It's only $29 a year for 4 issues. It's like what, 4 or 5 cappuccinos at Starbucks? You'll be inspired by the stories of the women I've interviewed. Plus, there will always be some mindset or self-confidence building tips. I'll have a guest writer or two, a good book, as well as you get a glimpse into my life in Paris, France, because as you all know, half of the year I live in Paris. Also, if you have specific requests for the magazine, I want to hear from you. I absolutely love hearing what my audience, what my subscribers, what my peeps want more of. So please do share. And thank you for sharing your precious time to listen to this podcast. Do subscribe and please leave a review because in the podcast world, reviews matter. But most important, do the exercises I mentioned today. Explore who you truly are and what it is that you truly want. In essence, be the real you. Take good care and see you soon. A biento.